Okay, so I hope you guys can hear me. Um, yeah, sorry about the last class. So we're actually supposed to cover a couple of things. We could not cover them during the last class. I hope you can see my screen. Um, yeah, I've seen a couple of designs on the UI UX chat room, and I think I would have loved to review some of them though, but we might not have enough time for that on this call. Um, Yeah, so what we're going to do instead, we're going to make this session very interactive, right? Very interactive. So you can drop your questions and your messages on the workshop chat if you have any. From my end, I'm going to spend like 10, 20 minutes showing you a couple of things. Probably I would call tricks. I'm not sure I should call them tricks because I believe a lot of people also know them. But just in case you don't know, how to implement some of these things or why you should choose to do some of these things, I believe you will also learn one or two things from here. Okay, so hmm, somebody said that they are not able to follow up with the workshop session. I'm just saying that now because of the timing, and I'm very sure that yeah, a lot of people would have issues with timing, of course. But that's the idea. The idea is you should be able to, spend lesser time in the evening because some other people are complaining about the time. Being 2 hours as well. I think is kind of my screen. Let me just, I am like every day, we just work on at least one design. I don't know if you support that. If you do, please drop it on the chat, drop it on the workshop chat. Let me know if it was. All right, so let's see what we're going to do. Can someone just drop like an idea? Let's design something for a platform in a specific industry, right? Just go ahead and drop something. Maybe educational, maybe industrial, um, yeah, medical. Just go ahead and drop an idea, and I'll pick randomly. If you can hear me, if you can hear me, now I don't think anyone is hearing me. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, okay. Um, all right, all right, all right. Okay, so let's just make let's just pick something. I mean, um, depending on the platform, depending on the industry, just come up with something. Anybody randomly on the chat. Let's work towards that very fast. Okay. So I said this class should be very interactive, and the idea is I actually want someone to drop. I think someone is dropping something on the. Yeah, is anyone typing? Insurance industry. Okay, okay. Yeah, so you can drop your message when we're in the workshop. Drop your message in the workshop chat. Okay, in the workshop chat. Let's because I'm actually watching the workshop chat. Okay. All right. So insurance industry. I'm going to take this off. Of course, we've not started the user research, which I hope we're supposed to start today, this evening, of course. Yeah, but while I'm on this page, I'm going to do a couple of assumptions, right? So let me quickly open up. the browser. Okay, insurance. Okay, there's full of ideas from this. So of course, before you start your design, of course, you just have to gather a few facts, try to understand a couple of things about the industry you're building for. For me, um, or rather, I would say on this call, I'm going to gather these stuffs on my notepad here. Ideally, you're supposed to do like a couple of research related. You're supposed to follow a couple of research related processes, right? User research related processes. I'm not going to do that on this call because, of course, that's something we have to teach you to make sure everybody follow along. But right now, I'm just going to gather a few things here from the idea about insurance itself. Probably I would also I really love to check out Wikipedia. You might be asking what does Wikipedia has to do with our design. Yes, I love to at least get a good grasp of the industry I'm building for. That does not mean you have to spend like 1 hour on this. This is just like a live design session. But when you are doing your research, definitely you have to spend a lot of time trying to understand, what goes on in that industry. um, I think I used to, yeah, I think I do have insurance plan. I think it's with a company called AXA Mansard. Yeah, let me see. AXA Mansard. I've never thought of that for a very long time. Okay. Okay. So, personally, I believe every business have like design choice. Looking at this right now, from the font to the choice of the button, I don't know why I'm not comfortable with this. Um, Having this blue with this color, I have no idea what's going on here. But yeah, the button is kind of I feel it's too sharp. And so sometimes one thing I've observed very well, when it comes to making design, um, I feel your design should also be able to communicate a feeling to the user or the person going through your website or I mean, no matter the kind of design we're talking about here, right? So I basically have like this like a fine art background. So looking at this, I feel for an insurance platform, maybe we should have more of a rounded radius for some of these items. I feel it's more safe. It looks and feels safer, right? And also some of these items are kind of like condensed. I think they should be stretched out or something for the images, right? So, of course, this is not the design review session for AXA Mansard. I'm just trying to get a couple of ideas about this. So I'm seeing they also have like a mobile app, and I would also assume that it's a good idea for a couple for some companies around this in this industry to have an app. Okay, so these are some of the things that I think they can or they do. Life insurance, motor insurance, travel insurance. Okay, okay. So we have several subcategories as well. So we are going to work with some of these categories, right? Yeah. So insurance categories, life insurance, um, motor insurance, auto travel. Okay. Okay. So I think let's stop here. Let me see. Oh, okay. Okay. So we have like a couple of other insurance options here. Fire, personal accident. Okay. So we'll take a look at this. But I'm going to leave these categories for the meantime. Yeah, I'm also looking at the font. So for an industry like this font is not bad. So we need to at least have like a blend of font options. I think I remember giving you guys a website called Font Pair. You can check out a website like this to get a good font pair for your design, right? So always remember, if you find it difficult selecting a font by yourself, of course you can navigate down to this site and you know choose a very good option for yourself. Okay, so I think I would quickly kick off this design. Okay, so I said insurance. I would rather pick something. Yeah, let's get started. Let's get started. Okay, so for my color, let's go to colors. I would leave this page open. Let me see what I have here. Okay. Okay. So I think we even have like other types here. I think this is better. All right. So I don't need to read like so many detailed explanation about here, but at least we get the grasp, right? We understand what I think it's colors. Colors.co. Yeah, colors.co. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So what do you think is a good color for insurance company for an insurance company? So let's go to colors and meaning. So just in case you don't know, try to always make sure you don't pick colors at random. Um, yeah, a lot of colors have different meaning. You can just do your Google search and definitely you would get a couple of explanations on some of these things. Okay, so I don't think this is the right. I used to have a website for uh, checking these things. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at some of these stuffs we have here. Um, what would really fit in for an insurance company? So looking at blue, peace, professionalism, loyalty, honor, trust, um, uh, stability. Okay. Let's look at green. I think green actually works well in agricultural stuffs. Yellow. Hmm. Okay, I would want to go with yellow. Um, what's the reason? I think basically because I'm saying comfort, liveliness. Unfortunately, I think we still have cowardice. I'm saying there hunger. Okay, intellect, happiness, energy. Mm. All right. So what I'm going to do right now, let me come back here. What's the color code for yellow? Why can't I pick a color here? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's lock this. Let's check out some of the colors that would work with yellow. Yeah, so just in case you need this site, I would share that right now. Um, where is it? Recently closed tabs, the meaning of colors. Okay, so let me share this with you on the workshop chats. All right. So let's see. I think I need to generate more. So I'm loving this color. I'm going to pin that down. Let's see if there's any other option I would go for. Okay, so I believe we can actually make this work with these colors we have here. So let's bring this here. So let's just bring it closer and kind of like visualize what it looks like together. I think it's fine. Black is the normal. This take this off. we also take this off. We're going to work with these two colors basically, and also this dark color, but not pure black. Um, yeah, so let's get started. I'll just quickly move this to a different screen so you can see my Figma app. Okay, so the person that dropped the idea of designing an insurance website, you did not specify mobile or web, but I'm going to go with web, and I hope you're comfortable with that as well. So let's see what we can come up with, right? Let's see what we can come up with. Okay, so I'm going to first create my artboard, which is, of course, I love to use desktop 1280 because it's more like a standard for a lot of computers, right? This is more like the normal standard for a lot of HP and Dell laptops, or should I say generally like 14-inch laptops? Yeah. Okay, so of course we have our section divided into a couple of the header, the body. In the body, I'm going to have like let me say like a couple of descriptions. So I'm thinking, what should we describe? First off, maybe we should have like some details about the services, right? After we describe the header, someone should be able to like log in, sign up. Of course, that should be on the navigation. But the major thing here is what should be the main call to action. Call to action button. What should be the main call to action button? So thinking about it, I think maybe we can follow what we have on AXA Mansard, which is choose a plan. But I'm just making this up because ideally, when you're designing for users, you need to interact with users, ask them a couple of questions, and from your feedback, you will know what they need the most, right, from your audience. From let's quickly add a layout page. It's just 12. Okay. 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 So for the heights of the menu, I'll just use 100. Okay. So yeah, insurance. All right. I'm going to do this here. So basically, what I'm doing right now is just coming up with a very quick wireframe, right? To divide these sessions. Okay. So at this point here, I'm going to put in like a couple of should I say yeah, the insurance plans we have. Okay, so I'm going to put in like a couple of insurance plans. Think we can put our text on the side, but if you're trying to also come up with something different, we can have our text right in the center. That would also work out fine. Then probably we can have, yeah, I think we can have like an image here, maybe like a family, or maybe something that always slide, maybe like a slider, right? So we have like a family, we have like a car, just focusing on some of the important things here. But let me just go ahead and put a stroke so we can identify what goes in there, with a stroke. So at the top here, we have the text, some, very, very nice text. So I'm looking at Axa Mansard, and they have, an example, attain a better quality of life, confidence at every turn. So, just showing like this slider, but you can of course implement a slider. I'm not looking at implementing a slider anyways. I just want something that has a meaning, that once someone looks at it, they know what we're referring to. um yeah, then maybe when they click on the various insurance options, they can get like more details on that. um Yes, so let's just say the next thing we're going to put in here is more like the description of the company, maybe like an about us section with the text. So we have a lot of text here. Um, yeah, so we have like two. Where are you? So we have like text here. Then we also have like an image here. So looking at this, I would definitely love to use more like a secular objects for my image on this side. And for some of these cards, definitely I'm looking at having a very good border radius, maybe like 20, uh, to make it soft. I think that is okay. We're not going to spend like trying to bring in a lot of details into this page. Just try to make sure we have good level of contents. I'm going to duplicate this guy, explaining other things to the user that I feel not all users, but most users are definitely going to try, to navigate um, through this website. So before we reach our footer, let's give them a very good level of detail here. Let's just swap this. Okay. What else? What else should we have? I was thinking of like subscribing, or maybe I don't think that's even necessary. I'm also looking at I think before someone would love you to be kind of or to be part of your insurance company, definitely they want to see some evidence that you guys are doing very well in terms of your operations. Um, yes, so I think that can be part of the detail we are also showing them on this page. How do we come up with something? So maybe that can also come in form of a blog, right? So let's see what we can do here. Let's assume that we have like a blog section. Okay, I'm actually looking at having like two items per page, like per line. But I think that will even be too much. So maybe we can make it three. Of course, we're going to have like a title, maybe saying like latest news or latest updates, from the company. So we have one, two, three. I think I can even reduce it even more to make it four, but I'm going to leave this at three for now. Okay. All right, then we're going to have like a bunch of text, of course, like with the heading of the title and the description of the blog. Okay, so I'm just going to leave like one line there. We can actually have multiple lines, maybe like two or three. Um, yes. So what else? What else should we have? Hmm. Let's see. Mm, so we need to make it more detailed. So maybe these items can be clickable instead of using a button, right? And make them clickable. You add like an image with a tiny description within the object. So of course we can do that. I think this is fine. We don't need to do more than this for now. This is simple. Let's just add a space for our footer and yeah. Okay, so we have a space for our footer. So as simple as this, nothing so complex. Let's drop this as well. Okay, so I think we can start, implementing this already. Let's see. Are we missing anything here? Okay, so the thing is, of course, you can actually just have like a page. Of course, you can showcase everything about your company, on just one section. If maybe you want a website that is not scrollable, something that they just have to see every single detail that is needed on this one, yeah, on this one page. Of course, you can also do that. Um, this is what I have now. So let's go ahead and start working on this. I'm going to I'm going to alter this in here. Okay, I don't think that's a good idea. Let's duplicate. Let's start by changing some of the items here. So we should have like the main text. We'll go ahead and quit browser. Maybe it's slowing us down. So we should have like the main text here. So I'm going to start typing. Okay, so it's something very bold, right? Very bold and big. I'm going to use. I doubt if I have play fair display, but I think I do. Okay. Yeah, so there are better fonts, of course, that you can search for. For me, I think maybe I will just check, from the list of fonts I have in here. And of course, you have to always make your font decision even before you start, implementing your design. So this is okay. Let's try this font. I think this probably be the first time I'm trying it. Maybe let's see. Hmm, It's okay. We'll know. Okay, so I'm going to open up on Splash. Yeah, I'm going to be adding a couple of should I say modern design pattern. Maybe you might have heard of neomorphism and those stuff. I'm going to be adding a couple of yeah. What can I use here? Insurance. Let's search. Let's try this. Let's see what we get here. So this is the font I'm going to use. I'm going to stick with this font. This is the name of the first font. And for the second pair of my font, I'm going to stick to, let's go with the Inter. Yeah, not bad. Okay, so I actually wanted to like make this background like more like a plain background. Maybe for now I can continue with that and I'll come back to this. Yeah, I'll come back to this. Okay, so for these items, I'm going to fill this in with an image. Take off this guy. I think we need to make it more visible, so I have to make this big. Okay. Yeah, so of course, if you can probably use like some illustrations, I think that would be nice, but we can't get some of that right now. So let's see back to this our design, our text, life insurance, motor travel. Okay, okay. You have to build a hospital, so context of things and also the choice of images we use. We stick to something like this for now. Okay, so how do we put in our text in here? So that's what we need to consider right now. Should we? Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that. So should we put in our description within the box or outside the box? That's something you have to also ask yourself. I will definitely go for putting my description within the box. All I have to do is to add a different layer. So let's focus on working on this first before we add the remaining items. So I am going to use hidden contents. Okay, probably just remove this. Make sure this guy is transparent and yeah, okay. It can be any color. It must not be black. So for our text, we'll just put travel insurance. So maybe we have like a bunch of text we want to put in here, probably, but of course not compulsory. I would just duplicate this 14. Yeah, so also when you're designing, don't tell yourself that this is too small, this is too big. Always make sure you're doing your adjustments and your sizes based on what the end result would look like. So, for example, a lot of websites will definitely use the font size 14 or 15, but I see a lot of people using 18 or 22. I mean, by the time the developer implements this, you might not like it. So the fact that you are able to zoom in and zoom out of your screen, remember in web development, it doesn't really work like that. So make sure whatever you're putting here makes sense in terms of like size. I would also go ahead and try to crop this image just because I want to push out the image very well, right? Okay. Yeah. So I don't know what to put in here, but let's just see if I can. Okay. So the reason why I would have to drop this a little bit is because I know that this is just like one item. By the time we duplicate these items and we try to put in some text that might look a little bit longer, it might not work at the end of the day. So you have to be careful as well because 12 is also very visible on your browser. 2, 3, 4. So these are our images. Make sure everything is properly distributed. Have okay. So let's go ahead and pick these items. Of course, you can decide to make this a component, right? As you can see, I'm not making any of these items components because I feel we still have. So yeah, I think maybe what I should do is probably group this, but I'm not going to make it a component for now. So just group this. I feel that works. The next one I will say life insurance, say motor insurance, or vehicle insurance, or car insurance. I don't know. Um, what else? Okay, so let's go ahead and okay, so because I made the initial, I cropped the initial image, every other item will also change. I can easily switch that. Yeah, and also try to check out, the functions of this thing. They are very good. For example, that can multiply color bond. I use color bond a lot, especially if I, for example, I duplicate this item, I have an image on top. I can make this item like a solid color or maybe like red. Remember, we have the image right here. I can make this guy color bond. See what we get, right? It's able to like bone down that particular color on top of the image you have on the background, right? So I can change this and see what we get as a result. Let me close this so you see it well, right? So I think you should check out some of those features. First. All right, so back to the splash. Insurance. Okay, so we have vehicle insurance. Um, okay, this picture might not be the best, but let's just leave it at that. We have fire insurance. See anything like that can work. There's an ambulance. Yeah? Okay, so let's just leave this for now. Of course, we can decide to add more items, showing up, and maybe we decide to make this like scrollable, right? We can make this scrollable. All we have to do to make it obvious that it's scrollable. Probably first tidy up these items. Maybe we have something like this. Okay, not bad. So we have like other insurance plans we can easily scroll through and assess, right? Yeah, fire. Okay, let's see. Okay, so just have these items that are scrollable. You can also make it obvious that it's scrollable, right? I'm sure you must have seen some items like this where you can, yeah, let's do something here. Yeah. And yeah, there's some icons you can actually grab. can use Iconify to pick a very good icon to fix this instead of trying to do it manually, because you might not always get it. Okay. Okay, so what do we do here at this point? I think looking at the design, I think I might probably want to go back with this option, right? I might probably want to go back with this option because I think it will give me enough room to make this even better. So I can have something like this. I'll probably take this off first and let's put in this detail here. I honestly don't know what to put in here. But let's see if I can. Yeah, let's have that. See, 4, space of 28. The motivational quotes. 16. I think the text is too much. Yeah, so there are some basic, design tokens we don't have yet, such as your button and a couple of other items. I'm going to quickly come up with something. See what we can have here. Back insurance. I've actually had my eyes on this. What I will do to make this very visible, yeah, what you can do is probably just duplicate, like add, yeah, something like this, linear. See, we're going to bring in our colors soon, right? So we're going to bring in our colors soon, especially when it comes to our buttons. We're going to have our colors. I'm going to design my button using auto layout. So I'll just say, it's a quotes. Maybe the next option here will be see our plans. Okay, well, let's come up with the first one. Shift A gives me the auto layout. Button, I'm going to give it like 10px because I think this will be too much for the button, but let's go ahead and try it, right? Let's see, 20, put in a field, change the texts within. Yeah, I think I can leave that as white. So this is going to end up having a field with our colors, right? Our colors, I've not collected our colors just yet, but let's see if we can do this. What do you think? 20 and maybe border reverse adjustment. Okay. Mhm. That might be too big, but let's test it out. Um, okay, I think I would want to, yeah, not space between, leave this in the center. So that's what I to do here. Okay. Of course, I won't want two items to be the same color. Maybe rather I should use like a fill, like outline, sorry, out the fill. That would work. I feel this button is too much. The height of this button is kind of too much, so I'm going to drop it a little bit for the height. Let's work with 10, 10. So size a little bit. Okay, so I think I like this. I think so. I think this text is still too big. 10. Yeah, so your description should not be too much so that people would have you know, enough energy to read through. I think making it bulky might be problematic. I initially did not want to include a carousel, but after thinking of this, I think you know just having like the house alone might not be the best option, right? Just having the house alone might not be the best option. Um, what can we do about that? So let's see. Maybe I can make this even 90 then. Okay. So anytime we have like let's push this out here. So anytime we have like a different screen coming in, the text will be on one side and the image would show very well on the other side. So I need to also make this very visible as well. Okay, so I think we need something to describe what happens here, like to describe that. So let's go ahead and move these items. Okay, we have to be consistent with our choice for the heading texts. We might just drop the font, the size a little bit, keep it in the center, select our neutral color, and that side is still too big. So what should I call this? Maybe like insurance, I don't know, insurance types or options. I have no idea to make sure. Search properly. Okay. Okay, so let's see what we can put in here. So if this is a carousel, then definitely we have to show indications, pages, right? I'm just going to do this. I'm sure you must have seen this before, making you know that okay, you're currently on like the third page or something like third view. So let's assume we have four items here. So it depends. If you wanted to slide like left and right, you wanted to go like top to bottom, you can definitely make that happen. One thing that you can do if I group this, so one thing that you can do is to have this on the center of this page to indicate that it's going like from left to right. Or you can also rotate this. So I can rotate this, of course, and put this on this side maybe. You know, if I want the image to slide from top to bottom, can also have it, like this. But I think I will just leave it here and make the first item. I'm just going to stick to this color so that once we're done, we can easily swap things, right? Can easily swap the new color. One thing you can do, um, is to add a shadow some of these items. I don't see adding shadow as something compulsory, but even when you do add it, make sure you have like I love to really spread this so that it will be very soft. The shadow will be very soft on the background, right? Very soft. Okay, so let's go ahead and maybe pick these items, duplicates. move it here. But first, I'm going to cut and paste this because I grouped it earlier on the other part, and I don't want it to be grouped here as well. This is just going to be simple sign up login, right? So let's have login. Login, maybe it can be separated. Sign up. And of course, this is the login and sign up button should not be exactly like the CTA. So I'm going to drop this. It can be, but you don't does not have to, right? So also the text size of this. So well, just see more reasons why I should. Yes, okay. Not bad. Let's see. This is 15. Okay, 16. Okay, so this should be filled black. Yeah. So I think right now I don't know the. We need to just like look at a couple of insurance websites, figure out what the menu item should be like. Let's tidy up first and let's open our browser. Insurance. Oh, let's go back to AXA website. It's so health, investment, insurance partnerships. Okay. Insurance partnerships. What else? This is corporate sites. Tidy up. So we don't have a logo. We're going to decide now. One right now. Okay, so it's not the best logo you can get. Anyways, yeah, something. Okay, so of course we need to have proper alignment, right? Let's make sure everything is this should be grouped. This should be aligned properly. Okay. Click and show. Okay. It should also be grouped. Groups, then aligned properly. Groups and finally aligned with this. The center also put okay. So yeah. All right, so this is what we have. Very simple. um, at least at this point. Let's proceed. I'm going to use this size for the fonts here, and also this size for the description here. I hope you guys can see my screen. Make sure you're in today's class this evening. We'll be talking about user research, of course, kicking off today. So let's see. Um, what can we put in here? Let's just say African lady smiling. Come on, now this is not what I searched for. On splash, do not confuse me. So maybe you have like yeah. So I'm trying to implement a little bit of hierarchy here. We have the main text. We have kind of like the description. Then we have something else that we're also trying to use in describing what we have here. But yeah, maybe can use is our color. I'm just trying to describe something. So of course you have to be careful with the colors you use. This color right now looks like an error message, right? So maybe if I make it bolder, it still looks like a bold error message. So I think I'm going to take it off. Probably just take it off completely. I'm trying to describe something there, but I think it's better if I stick to black, right? It depends. If you want to have like a call to action, you might end up having too much call to action on this page. Um, yeah, but maybe you have something very important that you want to pass here. So I think you can actually have something like this. Let's group this. We're still going to come back to look at the spacing in between. We're already like way uh, time is already I think it's already one, I believe. Yeah, what I can do is I can duplicate this and just I believe you know what I did there. Quite simple. Let's have this touch this guy here. And of course, we can change that image as well. This time I don't know. Ah, let's talk about insurance, car insurance. This car actually okay. Granny, granddad, or grandmom. I think this. Okay. Will be important. Okay, this should die bigger. 60s. Okay. Okay, so at the bottom here, we're going to have our blog. Um, but let's just, assume that maybe you have like a sort of description. Maybe you have like some kind of items to show here. Maybe you have like a plan. Uh, when it comes to life insurance, maybe you have like a plan. I don't know, but just an assumption. And you just want to put like an indication. So this is more like a tag. I put in like 10, say life insurance. Put in like some leggings, 10 or 20. So spacing. Also drop this drastically. 10, 10. I think that's even too much. So let's just use 5 everywhere. What I would do is I will make it, yeah, cross texts. See what I can get out of this. So right? I'm definitely going to work on the color again, but we're just trying to describe something and life insurance. And yeah, so after talking a little bit about life insurance, we're trying to show like a couple of happy, you know, children. Yes, that works. Let's get a bit. Just one person. I just need one person. Yeah. Okay. Applied on these three items is auto layout, and I want to use auto layout to put like let me show you. So maybe I apply a stroke. So what I have, right? Drop this a little bit. Drop this to like 35. Probably change the color to our primary color, and just so at this stage I can easily adjust the size as well. So I'm just trying to just playing around with a couple of items here. Why is that? Why is this not working? This is what we want to pass. Yeah. So Command D or Control D to copy and say reference news. So this is going to be more like blog posts and all that. I still feel maybe I should have four items. Yeah. So I feel I should do have like four items. See, that is too much. Hmm. That might be too small. That might be too small. What if I try to optimize the space by reducing this? Okay, so let's see happy family. Five online auto to be 20. Okay, let's say a simple shout post. Okay, okay. Drop this a little bit like 30 of these texts, which of course we're going to drop to like 14. So, this purpose to small for this to time. Yeah, so let's put in. Mhm. Okay, so maybe you also want to add like dates. So 1 to 2020, for example. This might not be the best date you have on a blog. So January 20th, 2022. Um, and maybe, of course, written by someone. So let's duplicate this. So we can put in like the name of the author. It's oh, smaller, 12, maybe tonight. Yeah, so one thing we usually see on most blogs these days, also 12, or even 15. Okay. One thing we see on most blogs these days is you have like they give you like a timeline for the read. Maybe like tell you this is like 3 minutes read, or 2 minutes read. Okay. um, yeah, let's just. I think the spacing we're having between this like avatar stuff is kind of big, but reducing it is already okay. Okay, that's good. Group this, put it together. When you're done, also I'm just for them to help the developers. They're also part of the users. I think I would definitely consider that to be part of the user experience journey as well. See. Group items that are meant to stick together so that the software will be able to really um, optimize this stuff very well for developer exports. So I'm going to duplicate this here. Just same line like this, duplicate once more. Good. All right, so let's see. One, two, three. Group. Before I group, let's align properly. Group. Two, three. Align properly. Group. One, two, three. Align properly. And also group. So just in case you have like multiple blog items, definitely just duplicate. Right. So I think that depends on what you choose to have from the implementation. What else? So this is our footer. Maybe it's a little bit too close. Well, I see a lot of empty spaces that I don't like personally. I don't like these empty spaces. So it depends. If you're trying to, put like some sort of navigation, telling them from here you get here, from here you get here. I love to do this kind of stuff. Right? I love to do this kind of stuff very well. Have something like this, and I make it, give it this arrow edge. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, so this is what it looks like for now. Mm, okay. Then I make the arrow dashed, not solid. So maybe you have like from here to here, from here maybe to another item here. You can definitely do that. Uh, I'm going to see if I can. Okay, so I'm trying to do it here. Exactly. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing right now, but I think I can make something which looking like Mickey Mouse said. So yeah, I mean, we've been concentrating on the design, but always remember, you have something you're trying to show. So even your images should, have meaning. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to show a chain from the parents down to the children. I'm kind of like focusing on the life insurance thing. So let's search for parents, right? So parents down to children. And if you notice, when it comes to the children, I'm also trying to show like this sort of like age gap, maybe like the youth and the child. I'm going to crop this. Before I do that, let me first put in like, let's see. Why are we always seeing models first? Once we search lady crop, so we can move down to the center. Also, do the same here and move. Okay. All right. So I think the last thing should be our footer. This is not so bad, but of course it can also be better. Yeah, there are so many things you can put here, especially when you understand the context of what you're building for. Uh, Anyways, talking from a product development perspective, I personally don't like to include what I think is not necessary, even if it's makes the design look more beautiful. When it's not necessary, I feel it's not necessary, and you don't need to have a lot of components playing around on a page to make your design beautiful. So the fact that I'm putting it here does not mean it's compulsory. When you have an image already doing the job for you, I don't see any reason why you should also do this, except you have like very important reason for doing it. Also try to make sure you group things together and try to make sure you design like a single component here. Then you make it a component before you export, which I did not do here. Make sure you're doing that first. Trying to make sure this is in the same line with this. Okay. Okay. Well, question is, I don't know if someone would really do this on insurance. I don't think so. Okay, so I think yeah, for the future, I don't know. I don't think this is like necessary to do on this call, but I'm just going to try my best to come up with something real quick. Paste. Um, uh, Z, okay, Control V, okay. Well, I think I will just go ahead and still use what I have here: health investment insurance partnerships, health investment insurance partnerships. Maybe I'll just move it down. Yeah, I don't think we've really done like a mobile design on a session like this, uh, which I think that should be something we should do. Maybe try to convert this to mobile before we move on to the next topics. But I've seen that some of you are already working on mobile design. I mean, they're looking beautiful. Um, so I think for the design challenge, if you would love us to have that, so you can also build up a portfolio during these sessions we are having, I think that would be very great, and I will be willing to review most of the designs, of course with you, make a couple of corrections. Yeah, if that's a good idea, maybe we can have it. Uh, just let me know. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is just implement a very simple grid, right? A very simple grid, but make sure we're properly aligned as well. And then we have a couple of text here. Maybe I'll use font size 12. And let's say type one. I have an idea what to put in there. Of course, you might also put in like your social icons here, right? The social icons here. This guy should calm down. Okay, I think we're almost done. This should be good. Everything here. These items. Okay, so you can put in your so whatever text you want to put in there. Built by, there can be social media, contacts, I don't know, company. Okay, so I mean, we've reached the end of this session. It's already 1:20. Thank you for joining. If you want to have access to this file, just let me know so I can also distribute it. We've not done anything so serious. I mean, these are basic things that we've done as well here. Yeah, but I mean, it's good having sessions and coming up with a couple of designs, trying to figure out the spot where you made a lot of mistakes. I really wanted to use like maybe glassmorphism for this, but of course, because of time, I won't be able to do that right now. But if you want to learn how to do some of those things, those are things that I mean they're not part of what you should be learning, part of a curriculum, but they are just things that you should know, right? You see a lot of patterns coming up tomorrow. You just have to learn to adapt and quickly implement some of these things with some of these patterns. So yeah, if you want to very wonderful time.